Have you ever held on to something so tightly for so long that it started to hurt? Not just your hands, but your heart? We all love the feeling of winning. The celebration, the moment you finally let go and raise your hands in victory. But no one talks about the part that comes before that. The part where letting go would be so much easier. The part where the rope burns your skin and every nerve in your body is screaming at you to just let go. Today, I want to tell you a story about a man who refused to listen to that scream. A story about a fisherman named Elias and the day he learned that sometimes the greatest victories aren't about strength, they are about endurance. Elias was a fisherman in a small coastal village. It wasn't a glamorous life. It was a life of waking up at 3 in the morning, of salt in your wounds, and of coming home with aching bones. But Elias had a son, Jonah. Jonah was 14. He had dreams bigger than the ocean. He didn't want to fish. He wanted to study. He wanted to build things. And Elias wanted that for him more than anything. For years, Elias had been saving. Every fish he sold, every extra mile he rowed into the sea, it was for that small glass jar hidden under the floorboards. That jar was Jonah's future. It wasn't much, but it was enough to send him to the city school. But life doesn't care about your plans. It tests you when you least expect it. One morning, the sky turned a sickly green. The wind howled like a wounded animal. A storm, the worst they'd seen in decades, was bearing down on the coast. While everyone else ran for higher ground, Elias had a moment of panic. He grabbed the jar from under the floor. It was safe in his hands, but then he heard a sound that broke his heart. The sound of his fishing boat, his only tool for work, bashing against the rocks at the shore. If he lost the boat, he lost his income. He couldn't fill the jar again. In a split-second decision, Elias shoved the jar into Jonah's hands. He shouted over the wind, "Go, run to the hills, I have to save the boat!" Jonah screamed for him to stop, but Elias was already gone, fighting against the wind, stumbling toward the beach. When he got there, the boat was half in the water, half on the rocks. It was tied with a thick, heavy rope to a wooden post. Elias grabbed that rope. He pulled with everything he had. But the waves were monsters, pulling the boat back out, trying to swallow it. And then he slipped. He fell into the churning water. The rope wrapped around his hands, and the weight of the boat, pulled by the wave, dragged him. The rope tightened. It bit into his skin like razor wire. He was being pulled under, the salt water burning his eyes, his lungs screaming for air. He could have let go. Right then, it would have been easy. He would have bobbed back up to the surface. He could swim to shore. He'd be safe. But if he let go, the boat was gone. Imagine that moment. You are underwater. The world is silent except for the roar in your ears. Your hands are being shredded. You are running out of air. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about your own life? Elias wasn't thinking about himself. Under that water, with the rope burning his hands, he saw Jonah's face. He saw the worn-out book. He saw the future he had promised his son, and he decided he would not let go. He pulled, not with his muscles. He pulled with his heart. He pulled with the hope of a father for his son. He pulled against the entire ocean. He broke the surface, gasping for air. His hands were torn, the blood mixed with the rain. But he had the rope. He wrapped it around his body, using his whole weight as an anchor. For what felt like an eternity, he stood there, the rope burning into his waist and his palms refusing to surrender. The storm passed, as all storms eventually do. The village was a mess, but Elias's boat was still there, tied to the post, battered but fixable. People came down to the shore to survey the damage. They saw Elias lying there, his hands a mess of blood and rope fiber. One man ran to him. "Elias, you fool! You could have died!" "Why didn't you let go?" Elias looked at his bleeding hands. He felt the deep, raw pain, and he smiled, a tired, broken, but genuine smile. He looked at the man and said, "Because the rope wasn't just holding a boat, it was holding my son's future." Jonah came running down the hill, throwing his arms around his father, crying. He saw the hands, and in that moment, Jonah understood something that no book could ever teach him. You see, the rope burned his hands, it cut deep, it left scars that would last a lifetime. But he held on anyway. Why are we telling you this story today? Because life will give you a rope. It will come in the form of a difficult job, a broken relationship, a dream that feels like it's sinking, and it will burn. It will hurt. It will test your limits. The world will tell you, let go. It's too hard. Save yourself. But remember Elias. Remember that the things worth holding on to are the ones worth bleeding for. Your family, your dream, your purpose. They are heavy, they will hurt, they will make you want to quit. But the depth of your burn is the measure of your commitment. Don't let go when it gets hard. Don't let go when the waves are crashing over you. Don't let go when your hands are burning. Because on the other side of that pain is the shore. And the boat is still there. So I want to ask you today, what is your rope? What is that one thing that is hurting you right now, but you know you must hold on to? Maybe it's time to tighten your grip. If this story touched you, if it reminded you to hold on just a little bit longer, please hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, because we are always here, telling stories of the human heart. Thank you for listening. Hold on, the storm won't last forever.